How do you approach building a board and drawing from your LP base versus your core team and versus what the company might need in their particular instance?
Part of the issue is making sure that that board is well balanced. What are the different personas that a board might be looking for, and how could those different personas help the company and the executives achieve whatever objectives that they're trying to achieve? The first persona that we would think about is like an investor persona. The investor has a lot of familiarity across lots of different software businesses. Let's say it's a software business that we're investing in. Because that investor is constantly diligencing different software businesses, might have had multiple board seats, they generally will have like a good sense of benchmarking. They could understand relative success across various companies. These types of board members usually will have an appreciation for the types of metrics, ratios, capital allocation policies, paybacks, investments, and whatnot to help guide structured decision making. Oftentimes, these board members are ones that are going to tell executives things that they might not want to hear. They'll deliver tough messages. And it sort of varies upon stage. I think very early stage investors, when a company is first starting out, oftentimes are just optimistic. They're going to cheer things on. There's not that many metrics actually to grab onto. And then as you scale, you might get investors who care more about certain ratios and payback periods and growth metrics. And then at some point, you're probably no longer as much of a growth company. And then you might have a set of investors who know a lot about managing costs and cost efficiencies and things like that. The second persona, what I would call a scaling executive persona, this would be someone who's on the board, who's kind of like been there and done that as it relates to the particular stage that business might be at. Scaling a business is really, really hard. And so having an executive on the board who might have dealt with things like this at a similar size company, that's really important. And a third persona would be like an industry persona. And so in many cases, you might have a software company that's selling into a particular vertical. And so what might be useful is to have another board member that's from that industry, that's sold into that industry in the past. When you're trying to get into the head of what the customer might want, having someone in that field is of particular importance. Thinking through what you want the shape of the board to look like, the different personas, and then filling that methodically with the right folks is I think, a key to enabling success from the board.